Hi, in this video I'll help you get to know your car a little better. At the end of this video I've put together a straightforward infographic that summarizes all the key points. Like, subscribe and comment below. It really helps.
So you're driving your Chevy and bam, a C026700 code pops up. You're probably wondering what on earth that means and more importantly, what you need to do about it. Well, you've come to the right place. Let's break down this critical warning step by step.
Seeing any unexpected warning light on your dash can be pretty stressful, right? And when it comes to this particular code, yeah, it's definitely a serious one. But don't panic. We're going to walk through exactly what's going on with your car.
So, what is this code actually telling you? In simple terms, your car's computer thinks the brake fluid is low. Now, this can be because it is low, or it could be an electrical glitch, what's called a short to ground. Just think of it like a faulty wire that's sending a wrong signal. Now, let's be absolutely clear. This isn't one of those "I'll get to it later" kind of warnings. This is a critical safety alert. Your entire ability to stop your car relies on your brake system working perfectly. You really can't afford to ignore this one.
To get this fixed, the very first thing we have to do is understand the risks. Knowing exactly what this code is trying to warn you about is half the battle. It's the key to making a safe and correct repair.
And we're not talking about a minor problem here. The consequences could be anything from decreased stopping power to, in a worst-case scenario, a complete and total loss of your brakes. That's why it's so crucial to address this immediately, for your safety and everyone else's on the road. All right, now that we understand just how severe this is, let's start playing detective. There are 4 main culprits that usually trigger this code. We're going to go through each one so you can figure out what's really happening with your vehicle.
Think of this table as our roadmap. It gives us a bird's-eye view of the whole situation, from the simplest possible fix, just adding some brake fluid, all the way to more complex stuff like a leaky system or bad parts. We'll use this as our guide.
Okay, theory is one thing, but let's turn these potential causes into an actual, actionable plan. This is your step-by-step checklist to get this issue sorted out. So here's our 4-step game plan. You'll notice we're starting with the easiest and most common cause first, the brake fluid level. That's by design. We want to rule out the simple stuff before we even think about diving into more complicated electrical or mechanical repairs. Okay, step 1 it is. Go ahead and pop the hood. You're looking for the brake fluid reservoir. It's usually a small, clearish plastic container with a black cap. If that fluid is low, hey, you've probably found your culprit. But be careful, when you top it off, you might need to bleed the brakes to get any air out of the lines. And whatever you do, don't overfill it, because that can cause a whole new set of problems. But what if you check the fluid and the level is perfectly fine? Well, that's valuable information. It means we can probably cross low fluid off our list, and our next prime suspect becomes the electrical system. And that leads us right into step 2. A short to ground on that signal circuit is the other really common cause for this code. So you'll need to get in there and take a close look at the wiring and the connectors that go to the brake fluid level sensor. You're looking for anything obvious: frayed wires, corrosion, a loose plug, anything that looks out of place. Now, if both the fluid and the wiring look A-OK, then the problem is likely something a bit more serious. We could be looking at a worn-out component, like the sensor itself giving up the ghost, or you might have a leak somewhere in your brake lines. These issues are definitely more complex, and honestly, might be a job for a professional mechanic. So, let's bring it all home. What's the bottom line here? Let's quickly recap the most important takeaways and what your next move should be. If you remember nothing else, remember these 4 things. First, and I can't say this enough, do not ignore this light. Your safety is on the line. Always start with the simplest check, the brake fluid. If that's good, move on to inspecting the wiring. And if you get to a point where you suspect a bad part or a leak, the smartest and safest bet is to call a pro. You know, in a way, this warning code is a pretty good wake-up call. It's a reminder that a tiny bit of regular maintenance can prevent huge, scary problems down the road. So it's a good question to ask yourself, when was the last time you checked your brake fluid? Doing those simple checks is truly the best way to avoid seeing critical warnings like this one. Stay safe out there.